Join me as I dive into France's deadliest werewolf legend and see if I can uncover the truth behind this chilling tale. Werewolves have been a part of French folklore for centuries, with roots dating back to ancient times. The concept of shape-shifting humans was first introduced by the Greeks, but it was the medieval period that really saw the legend take hold. During this time, werewolf trials were common, with people accused of being able to transform into beasts and wreak havoc on their communities. In France, the werewolf legend was often tied to witchcraft and Satanism, with many people believing that those who practiced these dark arts could take on the form of wolves. This fear was fueled by the Catholic Church, which saw werewolves as a symbol of evil and a threat to its authority. As a result, many people were put on trial and executed for allegedly being werewolves. The legend of the werewolf was also deeply rooted in rural superstition, with many farmers and villagers believing that these creatures roamed the countryside, attacking livestock and even humans. This fear was perpetuated by the fact that wolves were a real threat to rural communities, and many people believed that shapeshifters were behind the attacks. Despite the many trials and executions, the legend of the werewolf continued to thrive in France, with stories and tales being passed down through generations. It was often used as a cautionary tale, warning people of the dangers of straying from the path of righteousness. In the medieval town of Auvergne, a monk named Thierry Gaufredi was accused of being a werewolf. He was said to have made a pact with the devil, allowing him to transform into a wolf-like creature at will. Gaufredi was put on trial and eventually confessed to his crimes, claiming that he had indeed made a deal with the devil. Gaufredi's confession sparked a wave of hysteria, with many people coming forward to accuse their neighbors and friends of being werewolves. The trials were brutal, with many people being tortured into confessing to crimes they didn't commit. One of the most notable cases was that of Gilles Garnier, a hermit who lived on the outskirts of a small village. Garnier was accused of murdering several children, and when questioned, he claimed that he had indeed committed the crimes, but only after transforming into a wolf. Garnier's trial was a sensation, with many people flocking to see the alleged werewolf. In the end, he was found guilty and executed, but not before claiming that he had been possessed by an evil spirit. The Garnier case was just one of many that contributed to the notoriety of the werewolf legend in France. These stories and trials helped to fuel the fear and superstition surrounding shapeshifters, and they continue to be told and retold for generations. The legend of the werewolf was also perpetuated by local folklore, with many towns and villages having their own stories and tales of shapeshifters. In some areas, people believed that werewolves were protectors of the forest, while in others, they were seen as bloodthirsty monsters. One of the most enduring legends is that of the loup-garou, a shapeshifter said to roam the countryside, attacking livestock and humans. The loup-garou was often depicted as a half-man, half-wolf creature, and was said to be impossible to kill. The legend of the werewolf was also influenced by the medieval concept of the beast within. This idea posited that every human had a dark, animalistic nature that could be unleashed if the right circumstances presented themselves. The beast within concept was often linked to the werewolf legend, with many people believing that those who were accused of being shapeshifters were simply unleashing their darker impulses. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the werewolf legend began to evolve, with stories becoming more fantastical and romanticized. This was partly due to the influence of literature and art, which helped to popularize the idea of shapeshifters. One of the most famous examples of this is the story of the Beast of Gévaudan, a legendary creature said to have terrorized a small village in southern France. The beast was described as a massive, wolf-like creature with razor-sharp teeth and claws, and was said to have killed numerous people before being hunted down and killed. The Beast of Gévaudan's legend has endured for centuries, with many people still claiming to have seen the creature today. While there is no evidence to support the idea that the beast was a werewolf, the story has become an integral part of French folklore. The aftermath of the werewolf event had a profound impact on the community. Many people were left traumatized, and the fear of shapeshifters lingered for generations. The legend of the werewolf also had a profound impact on the cultural psyche, with many artists and writers drawing inspiration from the stories. In the centuries that followed, the legend of the werewolf continued to evolve, with new stories and tales being added to the narrative. Today, the werewolf remains a powerful symbol of fear and superstition in France. So, what makes this legend so enduring in French culture? Is it the fear of the unknown, or the idea that there is a darker, more primal force lurking within us all? Whatever the reason, it's clear that the werewolf legend is here to stay. Thanks for joining me on this journey into France's deadliest werewolf legend. If you've got any thoughts on the legend, be sure to share them in the comments below. And don't forget to check out my other videos on similar folklore. Until next time, au revoir.